Customer platform, it's time to start the day. Discover all the value you already own. Don't let solutions slip away. Wake up, customer platform. The tools are at your hand. No need to sleep on capabilities that can help your business stand. The answer's right before your eyes. You just need to realize. Wake up, customer platform, and watch your business rise. Wake up, wake up. The platform's waiting for you. Wake up, wake up. See what your system can do.
Good morning, HubSpot Nation. It is time to wake up, customer platform, with your unofficial HubSpot Updates morning show, where we help you discover the platform value you already own. I'm Chris Carolan, joined by my co-hosts Casey Hawkins and George B. Thomas, and we're here every weekday morning to make sure you're not sleeping on HubSpot's true capabilities. If you're joining live, drop a hello in the comments and let us know what you're building in HubSpot today. Happy Wednesday. We wear orange on Wednesdays, and it's May 21st already.
I set a reminder for next week.
Some of us.
I can't. I don't know why this doesn't work in my brain.
Well,
and a little behind the scenes. Obviously, we don't jump on too much farther before the show starts.
Yeah. I just got one thing to say. Gosh, come on. And
I
brought down orange. Is it okay that I'm drinking an orange crush first thing in the morning with my orange pudding and orange hat?
Yeah.
With the orange bars and other people, some wearing orange.
I think it's fair. I mean, I'm guessing Casey has not worn a lot of orange in her life.
Here's the thing. It clashes with the hair. I don't own that much orange.
Exactly.
That's not something I see.
I get it. Like, you're in a tough spot. You got to commit. Oh, in other news, we're all caught up.
Nah.
Right?
What?
I accidentally hit the button yesterday on the way to HubSpot Academy to share a manufacturing course with somebody, and just hit that drop down and just go right to the product updates button. As soon as I click, I'm like, oh, okay, this let me get a screenshot. I am surprised that it's still at 0 from yesterday at about 5 p.m.
That is shocking.
So we'll click on all here. Thankfully, we've got all these options to help us stay engaged and stay on top of things. And we'll get started with create permissions for contacts, companies, deals, tickets, and custom objects. But what kind of permissions? A new permission each for contacts, companies, deals, tickets, and custom objects that allows admins to control whether a user is able to create each specific type of object separately from their permission to edit that object. Note, changes to custom objects and create and merge permissions will not show up in the permissions history page, but we're working on adding this change.
This matters because currently any user that has permission to edit an object at all, such as contact, company, deal, ticket, or custom object, is allowed to create new records for that object type. This has resulted in a concern from customers around data hygiene. They must allow their users to edit records to perform their job, but in doing that, they're also forced to allow their users to be able to create contacts.
And I think I heard the word duplicate about 187 times yesterday during the admins hug about the primary problem that admins would love to just be automatically handled for them. And this, I have to imagine this is a start in that direction. Yes.
Feels like it.
Yeah. I was surprised we didn't talk. Yesterday was such a big update day. We didn't even talk about the admin hug.
Yeah. So thanks, Casey, for making that post to remind people.
But yeah, I do think this is part of that. I think it's a good update. I think with all of these permissions used to be a lot simpler. They're getting more complicated. I think you do have to think through the activities of like who has permissions for what a little bit more now. Because once you start taking permissions away, yes, in this case, for data hygiene, then suddenly contacts or your people at your company are like, hey, I need this person and I can't now, and things like that. So it's all about training and being transparent with your team and stuff like that. Things and stuff.
Casey, are you saying that organizations need a super admin just for permissions? Is that what it
feels like it right now, doesn't it?
We're getting there, man.
Well, and especially like for new HubSpot users, like you can think through the permissions, who needs what. But for people who are already in HubSpot that might be taking things away, I think you might not always realize. I don't always realize everything my team is doing. I don't know every single step that everyone's taking. That would be impossible. Just think through it. That's all.
Yep. And permissions management was another thing that came up yesterday. I do believe AI will do the brunt of that work in the long term, as far as like understanding user behavior and then applying appropriate permissions, helping create user templates. So when the next salesperson comes in, automatically gets applied. But yeah, it all comes back to training and enablement. And
I do wonder how this will work like with integration. So like if I have my email inbox connected, will my email inbox still be able to create contacts even if I'm not able to like go in and create them?
Oh.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think it does open the door for much more granular management of this everywhere. Like when I first was scrolling through, and we know that the next update, Breeze Copilot is going to be able to do this stuff. Are we going to be able to easily apply permissions to that that we might want to do? So yeah, I think in many of the spots, this is the lack of permissioning spoke to the lack of granular, separation of these activities that pops up in all like lots of other use cases in the portal. So speaking of Breeze Copilot, I did say yesterday I'd be happy to talk about this as much as possible. Didn't expect it to come back the very next day. But long story short, rebuilding Breeze with all of the latest tech and tools and all the learnings that have happened over the past couple years, what has been added in a very important notice, I think for many people interested, notice opting into this private beta will hide all previous conversations with Copilot in your chat's history. Do not opt into this beta if you need to continue referencing previous chat threads. Also, an important notice about zero data retention. Our zero data retention policy does not apply to this private beta. Wow. Data processed by this new version of Breeze Copilot may be retained for up to 30 days by OpenAI in order to support certain functionality in Copilot. All other terms in our AI Trust and Safety Center still apply. And just to say like how transparent I am by sharing this information with you folks, I wish I didn't have to read that just because that's going to turn so many people away from this private beta. But that's why we love HubSpot. They're transparent and they've been great about how AI works in their system. And so be aware of this. If this kind of thing is super important to you, yeah, maybe you can't opt into this beta yet.
Yeah, that's them some loaded words that got added.
Yeah.
Just saying.
So thank you, team, for updating the card so we could bring it to the attention of everybody that might be interested. Right. Manage. So merge permissions for contacts, companies, deals, tickets, and custom objects. Almost exactly like create permissions. So long story short there, merge, getting separated from create, edit, other stuff. So I'd love to hear from you two, like what you see this enabling, or what kind of challenges we've had in the past because we didn't have merge permissions.
I think so if it was previously in edit, if you could edit, you could merge. I think the biggest thing I've seen personally is I don't, in every portal I'm in, have edit permissions on contacts just because of my role in certain portals. Blah, 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 stuff and things. However, my role does sometimes need to merge. So like just speaking from like my personal use case, there are instances where merging would be a helpful permission for me to have, but editing is not necessarily part of my role. And I'm sure there's people in the same and opposite positions as well.
No, double click on that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think, my 2 cents is often this is something that is relied on from the people who are not on the front lines to clean up the data, keep the data clean like admins. When in my opinion, the people that are on the front lines are in the best position to keep things clean, especially when we're merging and worried about which one is the right contact. Is everything associated, to the record the right way? Which information do I want to come over, not want to come over? Very hard for the people not like in the relationship with that contact record in this case to make that call.
I agree. I think merging is one of those things that people are scared of. I actually just yesterday had a request come in from a client she had 2 contacts and she said, this is the primary one. Can you merge them together? And I was like, I can, but did you know you can also? It's really, and I agree. I think that I, as like an often outside consultant, am not usually the best person to be merging records. However, because it feels scary, I often end up being that person.
Yeah. Redesigned CRM index pages, private beta. Uh-oh. What is it? We're improving the index page experience to make it simpler and more intuitive for you to get the most out of its functionality. Check out this Loom for a full walkthrough.
We love a Loom.
Yeah, we do.
Why does it matter? The redesigned index page brings together a streamlined UI and new visualization types, enabling users to more easily visualize, manage, and action on their data in HubSpot. So the screenshot is a little different, not a lot different.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we always have a Loom? I don't know if we always had a Loom.
We don't. We usually don't. So I'm just gonna hit that button first. I'm always interested. I trust the team. They actually are making improvements. And I don't have sound shared, but maybe at the end we can come back and reset the share to show that loom. I think that's a good idea. Search workflows by descriptions. What is it? Customers can now search for workflows using keywords from the workflow descriptions directly in the search bar on the workflows listing page. Before you get into the why it doesn't matter, Casey, George, real quick, what is needed to be able to search workflow descriptions?
A good naming convention. I'm just saying, like, that's, listen, I it's funny. I think maybe you're doing that because you've heard me train on it before, but like, I do this thing where I talk about a tagging naming convention where it's like this persona, this part of the funnel, this department, this action, this outcome, like whatever it is for you, but it's like boom dash, whatever. And then when you search, and especially, by the way, a good folder structure doesn't hurt, but that's not search anyway. Or some views since they're not
And see, this is how
properties. Anyway, I'll stop.
This is how
No.
ingrained this behavior has been for George. He's got a whole like talk track, right?
I mean, I could probably go for like 10 minutes just on workflow.
and since but descriptions, like we need them, like to be able to search them, right? And since that hasn't been available, we create all these other mechanisms that George is talking about, right? To help us find them, help us organize them. And yeah, we need some descriptions in there, people, if you want to take advantage of this.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this. I haven't been great about workflow descriptions in the past. The Breeze automagical workflow descriptions have definitely improved that. But sometimes if you've used them, you know they're like not always easy to read, I guess, is the like that sometimes they use like internal names or they don't quite explain what's happening. It's more technical, I think, is the way I'm what I'm trying to say. But recently, Chris, just I was building a fairly complex network of workflows, if I'm being honest, for a client. And I used ChatGPT. I had been working with ChatGPT to map it out, the workflow process. So I went into the chat I was using, and then I had, there were like 4 or 5 different workflows that ChatGPT had helped me map out. And then I was like, hey, can you write the descriptions for these workflows? And that was better than what Breeze automated, because Breeze was using the technical pieces versus ChatGPT was talking about like what they actually were like accomplishing.
Right.
So why does this matter? If you have workflow descriptions, then this matters because workflow descriptions often contain key details that help users quickly understand the purpose, logic, or unique characteristics of each workflow. Whether created manually or generated using AI, these descriptions are essential parts of workflow management. Until now, customers haven't been able to search workflows by their descriptions, making it harder to locate specific workflows, especially in complex portals with dozens or even hundreds of them. We're addressing this pain point by enabling customers to search workflow descriptions directly from the search bar on the workflow listing page, alongside the existing options to search by workflow name.
Makes sense. I love that use case too. And I forgot to mention that when I saw the update with Breeze Copilot yesterday. I'm curious if that caveat of data, like 30 days retention, means that Breeze Copilot is going to be leaning on ChatGPT more than it has in the past. which I actually love, because I think one of the problems with Breeze Copilot, especially with workflow descriptions, is that HubSpot's training data is largely based on the user base of HubSpot. And if you don't match those use cases, you get some pretty wonky descriptions sometimes that may not apply to your use case. So yeah. Also, that situation helps with the one that Casey described. If you're doing that, just at the end, especially if it's a set of stuff, just say, hey, GPT, what would be a good naming convention for all of these?
Speaking my love language.
Yeah. So one more on the list today. Next meetings and last activity columns in the deals table of the sales workspace. What is it? These are two new columns in the sales workspace deals tab designed to improve visibility into deal engagement. Next meeting shows the next upcoming scheduled meeting tied to a deal. And last activity shows the most recent engagement, like a completed task, call, or meeting on the deal.
This matters because sales reps manage dozens of deals at once, and it's easy to lose track of where active conversations are happening. Previously, the next activity column bundled all activity types, tasks, meetings, even overdue tasks, making it hard to identify high priority meetings. By introducing a dedicated next meeting column, reps can easily prepare for and follow up on live conversations, the interactions most likely to move deals forward. Last activity gives quick insight into recent touch points, helping reps and managers access deal momentum and decide on whether to re-engage. Together, these improvements reduce the risks of missed follow-ups, clarify where action is needed, and support smarter and more informed decision execution.
I like this. Chris, does everybody get this? Is this all hubs? Like all sales up to like sales work?
Yeah, pro.
Starts at pro, yeah.
Pro enterprise,
yeah. Just because it's related to the sales workspace.
Yeah.
Pop quiz.
Uh-oh.
Where did these already exist in the portal?
Oh, wow.
In this format, in this dynamic format that they're talking about.
Next meeting and last activity?
Yep. Target accounts.
Oh,
wow.
Didn't know that.
Dude, did you like ChatGPT or Google that? Or
no.
Account so
George,
much?
ask your clone. Did your clone know that?
This was a specific use case where, like, these are one of the most common columns you'll see that people manually edit in their spreadsheets when doing sales one-on-ones and just the keeping track of sales, like in a dynamic way, like what's happening right now, right? Do we have a meeting schedule? What's the next step? What happened? Right? And it can be very hard. It has been traditionally hard to dynamically see that very easily, in the HubSpot portal until the target accounts view, you were having to develop, some custom, you having to put some custom effort in to show stuff like this. So
Trisha asked for details, Chris.
Details. My last in-house gig, new sales leader comes in and just shows her example of what she wants to see, her wonderfully complex spreadsheet. And those two columns are the most important columns, like in her spreadsheet. And she says it over and over and over. And that's where I found the target accounts area and said, hey, let's build this out. Over time, it did get built out, but I'm sorry, Trisha. Can you be more specific of what you're looking for? That was the guess. Okay, maybe I was right. Streaming, there's a little bit of a lag here, so appreciate you engaging, Trisha.
Oh.
By the way, Casey, it did know that it was in target accounts, and it also told me that I could put it on my left sidebar if I customize my left sidebar. So Just
Woohoo! The
Drop-
clone
drop
is
in some clone madness there because you asked.
Yep. There you go.
the clone became the master.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, it literally says when you're in target accounts home, you'll see a list of your target accounts with columns that include activity metrics. Boom, next meeting, last activity. This way you'll have a clear snapshot of upcoming engagements and the most recent interactions with your target accounts all in one place. Anyway,
Indeed. And I guess I should have been using this new beta from StreamYard. I wonder. So supposedly we can show comments on stage now
Oh, it looks.
with this
So-
little black box.
Trisha, put a comment in.
Yeah,
it's oh,
there we go.
there it is. Yeah,
thanks for the show. Thanks for being here, or else it wouldn't be a show.
indeed. So delivering value every day. We appreciate it.
Hashtag value first, brother.
Yeah, indeed. So I think we're at time. So I'm going to let everybody just understand this Loom exists. Maybe we'll throw it in the comments of this episode. Check it out. I'm sure it'll be back on our list soon, and we'll be ready to play it for you there. But get in there. Let the team know what you think. We're going to see a lot of this tabbed-based design continue. We see it in the workspaces right now, so appreciate the team starting to create some standardization over in that direction. Remember, folks, you probably already own the solution you're looking for in HubSpot. Sometimes you just need to wake up to it. Join us tomorrow morning as we continue exploring what's new in HubSpot. Drop your biggest takeaway in the comments and let us know what capabilities you want to wake up to next. Until then, I'm Chris Carolan.
I'm Casey Hawkins.
And I'm George B. Thomas.
And this has been Wake Up Customer Platform. Now go build something amazing. Have a great day, everybody.
Wake up, customer platform. It's time to start the day. Discover all the value you already own. Don't let solutions slip away. Wake up, customer platform. The tools are at your hand. No need to sleep on capabilities that can help your business stand. The answer's right before your eyes. You just need to realize. Wake up, customer platform, and watch your business rise.